lake spawning in the nether to smelted diamonds turning into bars? These are 86 Minecraft mistakes Mojang wants you to forget. X-ray is something that almost every server will ban you for using. However, in single player, it can make finding items considerably easier. This glitch allows you to X-ray within your single player world to find those valuable items. Mojang just cannot get rid of this horrendous mistake. On Bedrock Preview 1.19, Mojang messed up and made a glitch that gave you unlimited bone meal. In the patch, Bedrock Edition would not see grass as something that used bone meal. However, when you use bone meal on grass, it would grow without using the bone meal in your inventory. I'm not sure how useful this is, but it was certainly a bad mistake. Builders love making fence posts with a lead attached, but this bug makes it way easier to create. Normally, you have to hide an animal underground and attach a lead to it, so you get this fence post design. But if you put the animal in a boat, the lead breaks, while the post stays the same. No more hassle and no more muffled bird noises from the secret birds you keep underground. Looks like chicken's on the menu tonight. Did you know that you can trade with a piglin at hyper speed? When you drop gold, a piglin will pick it up to trade. But there's a glitch where if you pull a gold block back and forth, the waiting time between trades resets. So the piglin throws another item out. Players have even built piglin trading farms using sticky pistons to abuse this technique, creating a fountain of trades. More trades! I'll work these piglins to the bone. Give me everything you have! Everyone loves a cute and cozy witch hut, except maybe the witches themselves, because the hut is so small that their hats clip right into the ceiling. Who designed this place? This is such an embarrassment. Ha! You look so stupid! Yeah, okay, I deserve that. Have you seen these strange worlds where bonus chests hover eerily over water? It's an old glitch in world creation, spawning them for seemingly no reason. What could possibly be in there? Some great secret? Let's take a look. Subscribe? Better do what it says. The floating box commands it. Remember the Farlands? You can't get to them now as they've been blocked off with end-of-world barriers, but back before beta 1.8, you could go so far from spawn that the world fell apart. Numbers became impossible, and infinity became reality. You'd fall through the world as the fabric of reality tore itself apart. That sounds too scary for me. Good thing there's nothing scary in modern Minecraft. Minecraft used to spawn you with every item in the game. You would start in a place called Indev House, made of mossy cobblestone, full of chests with every block and item in the game, free to use at your leisure. But once the survival testing began, humanity was cast out into the cold and the dark. I'm sorry, Mojang. What did we do to deserve this? Aside from writing swear words out of diamond blocks. Potion making used to be easy. Just fill a cauldron with water, slap in some ingredients, and scoop out a bunch with a bottle. Voila! Instant potions ready to use. Now we have to use a brewing stand with its blaze powder and its spiral tubes. Why can't I brew potions like a wicked witch in a hut cursing children with invisibility? Instead I have to act like a hipster brewing homebrew drinks that nobody wants. There are so many mobs within the game. However, there is one mob still in the game who Mojang have forgotten about themselves. The giant was introduced over 11 years ago to be this brand new dangerous mob, but then nothing ever happened with it. Imagine walking through the plains biome and suddenly coming face to face with a giant. I know I would be terrified. I found an item that was immensely broken in its pre-release, but the weirdest part is that it's not even an item anyone would use in a normal playthrough. In pre-release 1.17, Mojang made the hanging root item have way too big of an icon when dropped on the floor, making it considerably larger than anything else in the game, and it isn't even that nice of a block. For the most part, Mojang has made a lot of textures very successfully. However, have you ever had a deeper look at some textures that perhaps are not as good as they should be? Time for a quickfire! The first messed up block is actually redstone dust. It does not even connect up properly. Iron armor is a really useful early game armor set, but have you ever noticed how the iron helmet does not even match what it looks like in your inventory? Or my personal favorite, the cauldron being misaligned by 1 pixel. I have ruined Minecraft for a lot of people today. Have you seen this crazy mob behavior when they swarm into the corners of a room? Put mobs into a small enough space and stuff a ton of them in there, and they'll crowd the corners so much that they'll merge their bodies together. They'll only move away to dart at high speed to one of the other corners. Everyone loves a good TNT attack, and this old bug lets you drop them on your enemies from above. Put them on fences above your target. When activated, they fall right through and land on whatever is below. I set mine up to protect my most prized possession, this painting of your mum. Look at this railway going up to nothing. This weird glitch is caused by a piston pulling the rail up from above. It lifts first, then breaks, causing the other rails to point upward toward it, even though there's no block to rise onto. It still works as a rail too, letting you make crazy roller coasters with nothing to support it. Why do they go on this ride? They could break at any moment. This version of Minecraft was haunted. The Elder Guardian ghost was added in Pocket Edition 1.11 and looks identical to the Elder Guardian, except for a semi-transparent tail. That said, their behavior wasn't scary enough in the slightest, since all it did was look at you and slowly sink to the seafloor. Ha! Sucker! Can't catch me! These secret hybrid biomes have never been used in Minecraft. The deep warm ocean biome is the deep ocean and warm ocean mixed together, getting the aspects of both, including getting ocean monuments. So you could enjoy warm water vegetation while getting absolutely wrecked by guardians. Did you know you can jump up more than one block in Minecraft? This is called a blip up. Basically, you trick the game into thinking you are on a higher block than you actually are. This then lets you jump up multiple blocks. However, it requires a fair bit of setup, so probably is not that useful. People will often MLG into a bed. It is certainly one of the biggest flexes you can do with your friends. But how about swimming into bed? Well, if you position yourself just right as you approach the bed, then you will actually have the swimming animation while you lie in bed. Is this some kind of water bed? Everyone knows armor stands are entities, but did you know they're actually alive? They have HP and get damaged, and if you put it by a wither rose, it will eventually die. That's just like other living creatures. It will set off skulk catalysts, spreading skulk blocks all around. Does this mean the armor stand has a soul? Is it watching me in my sleep, waiting for its moment to strike? Ah, get away from me! Imagine having the power to summon portals with a single button. No, this wasn't a mod. It was a real ability in Java Edition Alpha 1.2.2a. Players could spawn nether portals just by pressing F4. This was removed in the very next build, but for a fleeting moment, you could step into hell with a single button. Just make sure you don't press it by accident. This zombie piglin flesh is delicious! Oh, don't worry, I won't get sick, because before beta 1.8, zombie pigmen would drop delicious pork chops that were already cut. Oh wait, that was zombie pigmen. This is a piglin. Oh, it hurts. Oh, but it's so good! Could you imagine villagers being even more helpless? Well, be grateful if you never experienced their early version in beta 1.9 pre-1. They couldn't open doors, didn't run and hide, couldn't become a zombie, but instead just died. And most awful of all, they couldn't make their classic trademark what a pathetic existence. Oh, sorry, is that like your granddad or something? Hey, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it! One of the biggest mistakes Mojang has ever made is the exclusion of mobs that appeared in all the different mob votes. Mojang could add all of these mobs into each update and have it be an all-inclusive mob vote update. But instead, they only ever decide to add one from a community vote that always seems unfair. Mojang, I did not want this! Speaking of missing updates, one mistake Mojang has still not corrected is fixing the end. The end is meant to be the final location in your Minecraft world. You beat the dragon, open a portal, and boom, you end up in this weird, barren wasteland. Since the Nether update, people have speculated about there being a similar update for the end. This is great, except that the Nether update was 3 years ago, and we still have nothing for the end. I feel like Mojang employees just do not want to give us these updates. One mob that we all miss is the OG zombie pigman. This is for a couple of reasons. Firstly, the zombie pigman was just a perfect enemy that really felt like it belonged in the Nether as a zombie counterpart, but introducing the piglins ruins that feeling. The thing that makes this an annoying mistake, however, is that they do not even drop rotten flesh anymore. Please, Mojang, bring this back! The next mistake was not entirely Mojang's fault. Since Microsoft bought Mojang, they have been trying to get Mojang accounts and Microsoft accounts linked. However, this proved to be massively hidden from people who perhaps use their parents' account, since there are now millions of Minecraft accounts that have been erased entirely from the earth. People often say that Minecraft doesn't feel as colorful as it used to. Well, in Snapshot 18W15A, if you mess with the new biome blend feature, you could turn your Minecraft world into a colorful fever dream. Just fly around and see blue leaves, pink grass, red rivers, and so much more. Honestly, can we have this back, please? There is a feature in older versions of Minecraft that Mojang actually regretted adding. People love playing Minecraft in different ways, and Minecraft Virtual Reality now has a huge player base. However, did you know you used to be able to play Minecraft with 3D glasses? Back in 1.12, there was a 3D anaglyph setting on Minecraft which would let you see the world in 3D. Yet, I have never actually met anyone who used this, so Mojang swiftly erased it from existence. Did you know that the fastest way to break a beacon is with your fists? That's because beacons don't react to any enchantment or to what tool you're using at all. I'm not sure why Mojang chose not to fix this, but breaking a beacon with an efficiency 5 pickaxe doesn't make it go any faster than ripping it apart with your bare hands. Either that or I'm just so incredibly strong! Oh, my hand. Have you seen a pyramid in Minecraft? No, not that one. These mysterious pyramids used to dot the landscape far away from the player and were completely solid. That's right, no rooms or even a secret base here, just bricks all the way through. This is because back in the day, there was no way to actually craft bricks, so Mojang just dropped piles of bricks around the world like it was a construction site. This potion is stinky! This one is suave, and this one is really milky. Potions used to have 32 different varieties, with different effects and colors, way back in beta 1.9. pre-release too. Some of them had really bizarre names too. How can a potion be Debonair? Let me test it with a taste. It's happening! I'm becoming Debonair! Well, hello there. Everyone knows how to break Bedrock with TNT, but did you know that there is an even easier way to break Bedrock that doesn't require you to spend hundreds of hours building elaborate machines? Just get yourself a drip leaf and bone meal it. That will destroy anything in its path. One of my favorite items in the game is the goat horn. However, in Snapshot 22W17A, if you went into your creative inventory on the snapshot, it seems that Mojang wanted the goat horn to be the do-it-all block. Do-do-do! Come, my goat army! Have you ever seen items chase you down? I put my useless and wanted blocks down this shaft with a ladder to the bottom, in case I wanted to pick them up again. But the items won't stay still. They climb the ladder if there's nowhere else to go, and refuse to be kept inside this little hole. Stay down there! Don't you know I don't want you anymore? Everyone loves making mega trees by placing 4 saplings beside each other. However, jungle saplings in that 2x2 formation cannot grow next to snow. No matter how much bone meal you use, it can't grow if anything is next to it. Even the lightest dusting of snow on the ground. Could you imagine never growing because you're standing next to snow? Snow biomes would have armies of baby zombies running across the land. Oh god, here they come! The big sticky block of pure wax was accidentally added to Java Edition 1.15. It was later added along with bees and beehives, and were removed less than 2 months later. Can you imagine being the Mojang employee who messed that one up? But it's okay, we all make mistakes. The fabled cog or gear was the original version of redstone. It's unclear how they would be made, but you could place them on the side of blocks, and they looked super cool. Unfortunately, by the time redstone was made, cogs were completely abandoned. Just like what my parents did to me when they left me to be raised by wolves. I'm so glad there's rules on the internet, or I'd never have found out about Minecraft, so, you know. You used to be able to control how the whole world was generated. The customized world type was made to give you full control over world generation. You could decide the biome, the sea level, the structures, the ores, almost everything. It got replaced by buffet mode, which mixes the nether, end, and overworld. But I want a world made entirely from diamonds. That's okay, I made the world in creative mode, so there's nothing but diamonds. Wait, how do I make a pickaxe without a tree? Signs are one of the most useful items in Minecraft, perfect for organizing your items once and then completely disregarding them. However, did you know that you can see sign text through a candle in the Bedrock edition? This glitch desperately needs to be patched by Mojang, but hey, you should listen to the sign. There are very few blocks in Minecraft that will speed up minecarts, and even to this day, people are infuriated by how slow they can be. But if you mix a boat and a minecart and then add a villager into the mix, you can actually make minecarts go faster. And the best part is, you do not need to mine for hours to get all the gold and redstone. Now I can make my massive gold statue. If you're being barraged with arrows, don't worry about it. Sleep it off, because when you're in bed, your hitbox is absolutely tiny. It's just this small box at your head, so any arrows hitting elsewhere pass right through. Wake me up when you skeletons can aim properly. Ow! Did you know that double chests actually have a tiny gap in the center? It's just a few pixels wide because it's the actual hitbox gap between the 2 chests that was set down. This means you can punch through the gap, shoot through the gap, and they'll pass right through. This is where I hide my secret cake button. That gives me cake. Here, I'll press it. And, hey, where's my cake, you greedy pig? This lava doesn't hurt me at all. That's because it's a lava spawner and not actual lava. It acts as a solid block, but can be built upon. Doesn't set anything on fire and doesn't emit any light. The purpose of it was to generate lava all around it. It would create real lava blocks over time that would act like normal lava. So technically you could build a wooden house on it, but it wouldn't last long. Some of Minecraft's great mysteries were lost in patches too. In Java Edition 1.2.1, sandstone had 2 extra textures that could be generated, creating cryptic patterns. This diamond with eyes peeking out, and this set of 4 symbols, a creeper face, Steve, an eye, and a block or slab. What were the meanings behind this strange display? I'll dedicate my life to finding out. Nah, I'm bored. Let's go fight a dragon. One mistake the Mojang developer Serge made actually stayed in the game for 3 years, and no one noticed. According to Serge, he messed up parts of the world generation so that the direction right was actually forward and back was actually left. The funny part of this is that nobody noticed, despite how infuriating this mistake may be. Fireworks and elytras have become paired with each other. You will never use an elytra without having its trusty sidekick nearby. However, this was not always the case. When the elytra was first added to the game, firework rockets did nothing. The elytra was meant to be more of a glider than wings, and so Mojang decided to not implement a way for them to fly, until players discovered all they had to do was shoot themselves with a punch-2 bow. Then they would be able to fly to their heart's content. Look at this insane XP level! It's completely broken the experience bar, so it won't show up at all. All you see is the massive number. This is because the amount of experience is literally too much for the game to handle. It's like doing so good on a test, the teacher gives you an F-. I'm sorry, I'll give you more apples if you give me a better grade. Please! I bet you didn't know that loading your game could push mobs into walls, suffocating them. Wall entities can end up in slightly different positions when you load in, and if they're next to a block, a tree, or fence, they can end up stuck inside. Oh, my poor sheep are suffocating in this stone. Ah, silverfish! I bet you've never seen this hybrid tree. It's made of all sorts of different trees and was naturally grown. This was done by placing a few blocks of one tree above the sapling. When the sapling grows, it uses those placed blocks, even if they're from a different type of tree. You can keep doing this over and over and create weird hybrids. And though this is a bug, it actually replicates real-life hybrids. Some have over 40 different species in a single tree. Imagine if you could do that with animals. Oh wait, never mind, bad idea! This land should be overflowing with rubies. Before version 1.3, Mojang was planning on adding these beautiful gems to the game. You could use these to trade with villagers, similar to how emeralds work today. But the idea was scrapped because of one fatal flaw. This ore looked a lot like redstone, and Mojang didn't want to cause confusion. Check out this magnificent payload! Now it just needs some finishing touches. The dirt slab! It was the only slab ever removed because they ruined everything. They made hills look nicer, sure, but they messed with terrain generation so much that Mojang scrapped the whole thing. Not worth the effort for a slightly smaller clump of dirt. Getting experience is very annoying in Minecraft. However, in Bedrock Edition, you could actually get unlimited XP. When the skulk block was added, using a silk touch hoe on the block would both break the block and give you experience. But the silk touch would let you pick up the block, meaning that you had a free XP farm. Shields have become one of the most useful items in Minecraft. Defending yourself from a skeleton, use a shield. Blocking a massive nuclear explosion, use a shield. But what happens when you find yourself trapped in the middle of a raid, but you have no shield with a ravager tearing down your door? Well, let's hope you grabbed a pillager banner, as crafting this with your shield will actually restore it. This seems a bit game-breaking, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. Minecraft Java and Bedrock editions are the same in every way except for coding, right? Well, actually no. Since in Bedrock edition with the new sniffer plants, you actually get less value. If you were to craft a pitcher plant in Minecraft Java edition, you would get 2 cyan dye. However, on Bedrock edition, the exact same craft only gives you 1. This feels very unfair to those on Bedrock. Check out this zombie that's obsessed with this villager, maybe even in love. Once a zombie targets a villager, it's all they will think about. That's now their soulmates, and they just want to infect them so they can be zombies together. Even when other villagers are available and their target is blocked away, the zombie just cannot give up. It's true love, but he is scaring the other villagers, so I gotta kill him. At one point, Mojang planned to add a red dragon? According to Jeb, this dragon was meant to hatch out of the Ender Dragon's egg. However, the idea was scrapped in 2014. But I don't believe that, so I'll be sitting on my dragon egg to keep it warm. This update will come any day now. I can feel it! This is really hurting my bum. How do chickens do it? Item duping has been a huge issue in Minecraft since day one. No matter what Mojang does, they just can't fix it. However, in the current version, this feels way too easy. Simply place a chest and save and close your game. Reopen the world and instantly open your chest and put everything in before closing your game with Shift and Escape. Open up Task Manager and close Minecraft. Reload the game and you have all your duplicated items. I'm rich! Breathing underwater is impossible unless you have a helmet with respiration. But what if you wanted to explore a submerged cave and did not have this enchantment? Well, why don't you just make a bucket? Since if you swim forwards and just keep clicking with the bucket, your oxygen should not go down. Take that, Mojang! The Farlands have become an iconic part of Minecraft's history. And now Mojang wants you to forget they ever existed due to how they were actually an accidental bug. The way this worked would be that eventually the world would stop generating chunks, and therefore the chunks would try to generate themselves and would cause the area to completely bug out. Have you noticed that different servers will have different amounts of mobs roaming around for seemingly no reason? That's because mob spawn rates are based on how many chunks are rendered by the server, which can heavily fluctuate depending on how good the server is. Luckily, my server is terrible! I can barely see any chunks at all, though this does mean I can't walk far before losing sight of my house, and I think I'm lost. Hello? This crazy glitch made me fall into my own inventory. This is caused by opening the inventory when you're not standing or swimming. If you're flying with an Elytra, open it. The character might twist and turn in ways the game never anticipated in order to look at the cursor. You can bend all over the place. It's like shoving your whole head into your own pockets. Oh, I forgot I had cake in here. Did you know sand wasn't supposed to hang in the air waiting to drop on your head? That was originally a world generation bug, which becomes obvious when you touch it and it all comes crashing down. Mojang couldn't be bothered to fix this, however, and now now getting suffocated out of absolutely nowhere is an everyday occurrence. Please don't be gravel. Please don't be... Oh, I give up. Oh, look, a free chest! But it's a prank! I can't open this chest because it's not a chest at all! This Steve Company supply crate was a joke block made in beta 1.4, and when you tried to open it, it would open a fake Minecraft store. This was a parody of the loot chest in Team Fortress 2, but of course later, Minecraft opened a real store. So, who's the joke on now? Redstone ore is the only reactive ore. Whenever you walk past redstone ore or interact with it, it will light up and then go dark again, except for deep slate redstone ore. Mojang clearly forgot to make deep slate redstone ore go darker after a while, so now you can use it as a light block. Wait, why is it so dark? Everyone knows that you can fly in survival Minecraft. You can do this with an elytra, boats, and even with a pig. However, what most people didn't know is that you used to be able to fly up using a fishing rod. All you need to do this is a fishing rod and a minecart between updates 1.9 and 1.15, and then just spam away.
I think I've flown a bit too high.
Endermen are even more terrifying than they look. When they get angry, they shake wild with fury. They're so mad that even if you pause the game, they won't stop. They can't get closer to you, but they'll stare you down, continuing to shake with unstoppable rage. Please, I just wanted you to stop stealing my dirt. Did you know you can create a ghost train on ghost rails? When you have a block with a rail on it and have another piston push the rails themselves in another direction, the rail item pops, but the rails themselves stay in the world. They even work as rails, but they'll disappear the moment you load back into the game, almost as if they were never there at all. It's a literal ghost train. Want a ticket? It's raining in the desert. If there's a river nearby, the game can't identify the difference between a riverbank and a desert. The rain will stop the moment it hits another biome like a savanna. So the sand will get wet and the grass will get nothing. Did you know at one point Steve was removed from Minecraft? Well, sort of. You see, these strange creatures look like a normal player, but behind the eyes, there's a hollow nothingness. They walk in circles, jump randomly, and pass through water like it's nothing at all. What do they want? Have they come to replace me? At least now I won't be so lonely. Have you seen this girl? Probably not. She hasn't been in Minecraft for over a decade. Ever since a developer called Doc left the Mojang team, he had made a bunch of characters, including Rana, the first character to make human pain sounds. She had animations but never used them, instead sliding around with arms outstretched like a human armor stand. Plus, with her limited AI, if you put too many in one place, they would fall off cliffs and die. This mob has no skin at all. Tucha was a character with no face, a blank white design, and had no mouth, so it can't scream. It was probably used to test mob spawning and similar mechanics, but it was removed in 1.2.1_01. I guess I could try to be its friend, but something tells me it's not one for conversation. Look at all this XP I'm getting from doing nothing. This is because the piglins are angry at me, and when they die, regardless of how they die, they'll give me XP. I like to lure them into this lava trap. I don't even have to lift a finger to kill them. Now I can relax and not pay attention at all. When pigs fly is something that you never see in Minecraft, but it should be when squids fly, since this hilarious mistake has led to squids being found flying in the air. Due to how squids are coded, for a while players would find them flying through the air. Squids work by always flying. It is just normal for them to be flying underwater as opposed to above water. This led to hilarious looking flying squids. Mojang repeatedly says that the block that causes the most mistakes in the game is the piston. However, one of their biggest mistakes actually turned into a well-known feature of the game today. The mistake allowed pistons to be activated by a nearby block which was directly above or diagonal to them. This was long before the introduction of redstone conductivity within blocks, and therefore it was something people really began to like. So Mojang decided to implement redstone conductive blocks into the game. Sand and gravel are two of the only blocks in the game to be affected by gravity, but sometimes you can find sand just floating there. This was actually a bug created by one of the developers for Mojang, which then went on to become a feature. The sand and gravel was meant to be fast traveled to the ground when it generated like this, but it was so fast that the game could not make it move. Eventually, the developer decided instead to add in dust particles so it could become a feature. The creeper is quite literally the face of Minecraft. However, Mojang is still desperately trying to make people forget that the creeper was a texture accident when developing the pig. While developing the pig texture, the texture suddenly drastically changed and would lead to the creeper. Mojang will never be able to cover this up. Standing next to lava is safe as long as you don't fall in, right? Wrong! If you're next to lava when standing on soul sand or mud, is lethal. How did I get sound fire. Mud is wet. Fix your game, Mojang. We all love adorable little ocelots. However, Minecraft thinks they're violent monsters. They're considered hostile, so in peaceful mode, they're not allowed to spawn. I think that's crazy. These adorable little kitties wouldn't hurt a fly. Right, Mittens? Oh god, Mittens got into the chicken coop. Behold the infinite obsidian walls at the center of the world. In the very first version of Infdef Minecraft, there were 2 infinite walls of obsidian that intersected at 0, 0, the center of the world. This was because coordinates hadn't been implemented yet. I mean, how else do you show the center of the world without 2 massive walls that go on forever? That's how I remember important places. You should see my house. It's very expensive. What happened to roses in Minecraft? Well, they got replaced by poppies that you can actually make things with. The same thing happened to cyan flowers, which are now extinct. But hey, who doesn't love a bouquet of poppies for Valentine's Day? Nobody? No wonder I didn't have a girlfriend. This item was never supposed to exist. The crystallized honey was accidentally added in snapshot 19W34A and was removed almost instantly in 19W42A. Some say it was supposed to be a food source, but we'll never know now because it was taken away. Luckily, I have the last remaining piece of honey from all those years ago. Maybe I shouldn't have left it out for years. Everyone knows TNT explosions cause knockback, but if you're in creative or peaceful mode, the knockback will be way stronger. In these versions, the blast will send you 9 times further. Here, let me demonstrate. Wait, no, I'm on crave mode! Have you seen this double-headed baby? Oh, can't see the other head? Let's look a little closer. Baby zombies can wear hats, including mob heads, but their hat layer is shrunk to their body size. Unfortunately, their heads are inflated massively, so when they wear a hat, it gets hidden inside. God, taking that hat off must hurt like crazy. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry! Hey, I didn't mean it!